Welcome to Yoga with Nikki Lee. I'm Nikki, and I'll be leading you through this 40-minute yin yoga flow. In this flow, we will be focusing on opening up the hamstring and hips. So if you have tight hips or hamstrings, this flow is for you. Just a couple things before we get started. We will be using props throughout the class. The first prop you will need is a yoga strap, or you can use a belt, scarf, or tie. Secondly, we will be needing some yoga blocks or books. You can use any books that are a little bit thicker to lift you up. And finally, just a pillow. It can be any kind of pillow or cushion. And then you can find your way onto your backs, bringing one of the blocks or books with you. Gently set your feet on the ground, lifting the knees up towards the sky, and then place the block or book underneath your hips. So your pelvis is slightly raised. If you like, you can have the knees falling in towards one another, or you can just have them freestanding. The palms can be pressed against the mat, or you can have them face up, just deciding how you'd like to take this position today. And then we'll take a couple minutes to connect to our mat. So just noticing the mat underneath of you. And then maybe starting from the toes and working your way up to the crown of the head. Just notice what body parts are touching the mat. Really feel the mat underneath your feet, your hands, your upper back, and head. What does it feel like? Notice how your body's feeling today. Maybe taking a mental inventory of where you're holding on to any tension. Just notice it, and then continue to move on in your body scan. You can begin to focus on the breath, feeling each inhale and exhale. Feel the rise of your chest as you inhale, and then the fall of your chest as you exhale. Continue bringing awareness to the breath, just noticing how it feels for you today. Are you breathing slow and deep, or fast and shallow? Just taking note of it, not attaching any judgment to anything you're experiencing or feeling. In yin, we hold these poses for extended periods of time, ranging from 2 minutes to 4 in this class. We focus on the sensations we feel within each pose. So allow this to be a very introspective practice for you. Just taking note of your body, your breath, and how it's feeling. Throughout the class, when your mind wanders, just bring it back to the sensations in your body. Allow these sensations to act as an anchor for you, keeping you grounded and centered on your mat. We'll be in this pose for a couple more moments. So continue to focus on the inhales and exhales and the connection that your body is making on your mat. You can remove the block from underneath of you and gently set it to the side. Grabbing your strap, we'll inhale up the right leg. You can keep the left knee bent, or if you like, you can straighten it. If you don't have a strap or belt, you can use your hands and gently place them behind the thigh or the shin bone. If you're using the strap, gently wrap it around the right foot, and then dropping the shoulders away from the ears, begin to gently pull the leg towards your chest. As mentioned earlier, yin is all about sensation. Imagine your sensation levels on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being no sensation, and 10 being way too much sensation. Your goal in yin is to shoot for a 3 to 5. So notice what you're feeling. If you're feeling any kind of pain, that's your body's signal to your brain that you've gone too far. Anything higher than a 5, back out of the pose slightly. If you ever feel any kind of discomfort, you can come out of the poses at any time. Letting this practice honor your body today. And just moving at a comfortable pace that feels good for you. Take a deep inhale and gently remove the strap from the foot. Just hold it in place for a second, feeling that juicy feeling throughout the back of the leg and hip. Now grab the outside edge of the right foot with your right hand and gently lower the knee down towards the mat for half happy baby. You can bring your left hand and gently place it on the hip or thigh, noticing what level of sensation you're feeling in this pose. Remembering to back off if you're feeling anything higher than a 5. Try to relax the target area of this pose, that being the right hip, the inside and outside of the right thigh. Just imagine these areas melting into the mat. Complete relaxation. And then notice if you're holding on to any tension through the neck, the shoulders, the face, or jaw. If you are holding on to tension, gently relax those areas. Notice if your shoulders have come up towards your ears, and then just gently release them. Again, honoring your body today. If anything gets to be too much, simply back off. You can always come into child's pose or shavasana. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Slowly bring the right leg over to the left side of your chest, grabbing a hold of the foot with the left hand, and then rocking your knee and your ankle back and forth for 3 or 4 times before sending the right leg out to meet the left. Just lay in your corpse pose for 10 seconds, feeling the sensation as it rushes through the right leg. Setting up for the left side, take a deep inhale and lift the left leg up. If you don't have a strap, then just gently hold the thigh or the shin bone using your hands. Grabbing the strap, wrap it around the left foot and gently pull the leg towards you. Shooting for that range of 3 to 5 and backing off if you feel more intense sensation. Noticing what your shoulders are doing, noticing if they've crept up to your ears, and then allowing them to gently release. Are you holding on to any tension in your face? Relax the jaw, relax the face muscles, and breathe into the pose. No need to manipulate the breath, just listening to the natural rhythm of your inhales and exhales. Trying to relax the back of the left leg. We'll be here for a couple more minutes. So just do your best to relax into the pose. Take a deep inhale, release the strap and set it to the side, grabbing a hold of the outside edge of your left foot with your left hand. Bend the knee and come into your half happy baby. Maybe pressing your right hand on your hip or thigh, and then just taking a mental inventory of how you're feeling in this pose. How is the sensation the same or different than the other side? If you could attach an image to the sensation, what would it look like? Trying to keep your mind and awareness on your mat and your body, focusing on your breath and sensation. We'll be here for another minute, so breathe into it and relax. Take a deep inhale, and then send the left foot over to the right shoulder, grabbing a hold of the foot with your right hand and gently rocking the shin back and forth. Inhale, straighten the left leg, coming into your Shavasana, and just noticing how your legs are feeling. Enjoy the sensation. Pressing the feet into the mat, let's roll onto our side, and then gently place yourself up into a seated position, keeping the legs out straight in front of you. Setting up for head to knee pose, bend the left knee and bring it out to the side. We'll walk the fingertips in front of the right foot, just bringing them to that level of 3 to 5 in sensation. You can have an arch in your spine. Just allow gravity to do the work. Maybe you would like to take a pillow and place it on your thigh, propping yourself up. You can also use your blocks or books to help you. Not pushing anything in the pose, just allowing it to happen naturally. We'll be here for 2 more minutes, so settle in. Continue to focus on your breath and continue to be aware of the sensation throughout the right leg. On your next inhale, slowly walk the hands up and raise the torso off the leg. Take 10 seconds here to feel the sensation rush back into the right leg. Then sending the left leg out, setting up for the other side. Head to knee, forward fold. Bring the right foot as high up as possible on the left thigh, and then slowly walk the hands to either side of the left foot. Accepting wherever you're at today. Maybe noticing the difference between this side and the other. It may be subtle, or maybe it's a lot different. So taking note of it, just acknowledging your body, acknowledging the sensations, and then allowing yourself to sink deeper into the pose, trying to relax all of the muscles, allowing yourself to melt into the mat. If you find you are holding on to something, acknowledge it and do your best to release it. When we hold these poses for extended periods of time, we allow the connective tissue that connects and supports all of our bodily organs to expand and bring new nutrients into the connective tissue. This is a very replenishing practice. It's also a very good practice to let go of things that do not serve you. Allowing your body to relax, allowing the mind to relax. We'll remain here for another 30 seconds or so. Continue to relax and continue to breathe. On your next inhale, slowly walk the hands up, taking a moment to feel the after effects of the pose. Really observe the sensations you're feeling. The true relaxation in yin lies in the transition. We'll cross our feet under and come up into a tabletop position, setting up for our dragon pose, or low lunge. I like to use blocks in this pose, lifting me up. Perhaps you'd rather not use the blocks. We'll just come into a low lunge position, bringing the right knee a little bit over the right ankle, and then sending the left leg back behind you. Our hips are squared off towards the front of the mat as best we can. You can close your eyes, or you can stare at a fixed spot on your mat or floor. Just keeping your concentration on the pose, on the sensations you're feeling throughout the hip. The target area in dragon are the hip flexors, the inner and outer leg, as well as the hip. So trying to relax this target area. This pose is an intense hip opener, so continue to breathe and back off when the sensation reaches higher than a 5. We'll only hold this pose for a minute before we transition into twisted dragon. Bringing the right hand onto the right thigh, pull back the right shoulder, and then turn your body so that you're looking over towards the right shoulder. This may make the pose a little more intense, so be sure to back off if so. We'll only hold this for a minute, so continue to breathe. If you find you have a hard time concentrating, maybe begin to count mentally in your head, starting at 1. Trying your best not to fidget. And if you find that you are, just acknowledge it and then quiet the body and the mind. One more deep inhale and exhale. We'll begin setting up for our half split. Maybe bringing the blocks a little closer towards your back knee. We'll straighten the right leg, pulling the hips over top of the left knee. I like to keep my chest lifted, but you can find what position works best for you in this pose. We'll be here for 2 minutes. In yin, we're not so much focused on the correct body alignment of the posture, but more so we're focused on the sensation. So allow this to be your focal point. This is a pretty intense hamstring stretch. So listen to your body and back off if you need to. Continue to breathe. Pick up the right leg and try to lift it off the mat, bringing it back into a tabletop position. Stay here in your tabletop and absorb the sensation coursing through the right leg. Bringing the left leg in front, setting up for our low lunge or dragon pose. The left knee can be a little bit out over the left ankle, and then you should feel a nice stretch through the hip flexors. Backing off if the sensation level is higher than a 5. Continue to bring awareness to the body. Where are you feeling this stretch most intensely? Maybe send your breath to that muscle, imagining the breath dissolving any tension you're feeling. Bringing your mind back onto your mat if it starts to wander. Allowing this practice to be both physically and mentally enriching. Holding the pose for another moment, relaxing the target area. Then inhale, lift the left hand up and gently place it on the left thigh. Pull the left shoulder back and then look over the left shoulder. You can continue to press the right palm down either into the mat or on your block or book, feeling a more intense stretch through the hip flexors and lower back. Breathing into the pose, acknowledging how this sensation is different than regular dragon pose. Keeping your gaze fixed on a certain spot to help your concentration. We'll be here for another moment. Inhale, coming back to center. We will straighten the left leg, pulling the hips back over top the right knee. Doing our best to keep the hips in line. But again, yin is not about perfect alignment. It's about finding the right level of sensation for you. Every bodies are different. So not holding on to a certain expectation of how you think your body should look or feel. Surrendering to the sensation. Keeping your thoughts focused. If you find you're holding yourself up with your arms, just try to relax. Backing off if the sensation becomes too much. Continue to breathe. We'll be here for another minute. Gently place the blocks or books to the side, and then lift up the left leg, bringing it towards the back, coming into your tabletop position. Feel the echo of the pose. Feel it throughout your hips and leg. Coming into a seated position with both feet out in front of you, you can grab your pillow or cushion. Setting up for caterpillar pose. We're going to walk our hands forward by our feet and then just rest the head on your pillow. We're not concerned with form in this position. Your upper back can have a curve in it. You don't need to hold on to your feet. Just gently let gravity do the work in this position. You can close your eyes and continue to draw your senses inward. Allow this pose to be an introspective one for you. Maintain your concentration. Maintain your focus on the sensations arising in your body. Doing your best not to fidget. Surrender into the pose. We'll be here for another 2 minutes. So get comfortable and continue to breathe and relax. Begin to awaken out of your pose, slowly walking the fingertips up to your side and removing the pillow away from your thighs. Take a moment in staff pose, pressing the hands down towards the mat, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, and sitting up nice and tall, feeling the echo of the pose. Setting up for final relaxation, lowering down onto your mats, coming into corpse pose, Shavasana. Your hands can rest out to the sides. Maybe you'd like to roll your shoulders under, reaching the chest towards the ceiling. Relaxing your feet, letting the legs fall open. Absorb all of the sensations that you've created throughout your class today. Continue to pay attention to your body, making a commitment to yourself to stay fully present for the next couple minutes. Maybe doing one more body scan, noticing if you're holding onto any more tension. Relaxing the face, the jaw, the shoulders and the neck, and your fingers and toes. I'll cue you when to come out of Shavasana, but in the meantime, enjoy your final relaxation. Begin to deepen your breath, coming back into your bodies. Maybe wiggling the toes and fingers. You can roll out the wrist and ankles, waking up the body. Then drawing the knees in towards your chest, give yourself a little hug. rolling onto your side in fetal position. Taking a moment here, and then gently pressing yourself up, meeting me at the top of your mat. We'll seal in practice today by bringing our hands to heart center and then bowing our heads in honor of our practice. Thank you so much for letting me lead you today. I hope you got exactly what you needed from this practice. Namaste.